This is no longer our battle. I tried fighting you. It can't be done.
Could you really rest for all of eternity, knowing that you had the chance to stop him, but did nothing?
Hello everybody, this is Snarist, and welcome back to the channel. This is the continuation of my Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, no upgrade run, and this is part 18, Brand the Warchiefs, the first part of 5. And outside of maybe 1 or 2 Warchief videos that I've got coming up in a row, these videos are not going to be super long, which is a good thing because my throat's kind of killing me, the commentaries are coming to an end right now, and you know, I'm pretty keen to just settle down with the game and not worry about commentary at all, or even recording. But, you know, again, the different war chiefs you end up facing will have different objectives you have to do to bring them out, and you have to deal with them in a different way. And I've already lost Grublik, as I said before. I recommend watching the previous video and hearing what I have to say about what these videos are going to contain, because I'm not going to repeat myself again, but you know, I go through a tragedy of losing a few different war chiefs and captains and stuff like that, and just trying to recover. And luckily my recovery was rather swift, but yeah, now that we have stealth brand, or the ability to brand enemies just by draining them and getting our health shot back, it's a lot easier to deal with these things. And to deal with these enemies, we have our own little private force where when reinforcements show up, we can deal with them still. And see, this captain that shows up out of nowhere has a fear of burning, so I'm trying to bait him into getting near the fire, but he doesn't. So it's rather unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm trying to brand these orcs so I can get them to kill each other. You can poison the grog barrels, because I believe as well as kill them, it makes them go insane and start attacking each other. So that is another option. And since you don't have any upgrades, or I don't have any upgrades, and you can't blow up the barrels by shooting them, there is that. And there I go again, you know, misunderstanding a counter from a dodge, and so I get picked up and body slammed. But thankfully this guy isn't that tough. And if you see them with their green skull, they can be grabbed and interrogated, but as soon as you grab them and do that, you interrogate them or you command them, they're basically under your control. So I'm going to keep him on standby in case he gets promoted by chance to a Warchief. So you see my my Grublik is gone, my Warchief is gone. See, I think the mistake I make in this challenge run is I think that when I assign them to a Warchief, I think they immediately become a bodyguard, but that's not true. They need to go through a trial in order to prove that they're worthy of being a bodyguard, and I don't follow through on that. So I'll be facing a lot of these Warchiefs with bodyguards, and you know, they no longer have those bodyguards anymore because they're my captains, but they're somewhere else. And you'll have that happen every once in a while, like a captain of yours is, you know, gets tossed away or they run away, but then they spawn back into the same area. So here I am just trying to make all these enemies kill each other, and I figured, well, I've got a captain, I might as well get him to start slaying all these orcs, because he'll fuck everything, he'll fuck everybody up. You know, he's a berserker with poisoned axes. I think he'll do quite well for himself. And so there's another captain over there that's taken a little bit of damage. That's not one of my own by the looks of things. And I should say as well that these videos, oh yeah, Tars or whatever his name is, you know, Skin Brawler or whatever his name is, yeah, this video series goes on for 29 videos, and this is part number 18. That's because, as I've said, the next 4 parts are going to be Warchief videos, and there's going to be a few parts following Torvin's quest line, and there'll be a couple with Lithariel, I think, you know, the daughter of Lady Marwyn, and then after that it'll be using our branded Warchiefs to go to war against the Black Hand, but he's not there, and instead we fight the tower, and then we have to fight through the talons of the Black Hand, which are 5 Orc Warchiefs, but they're super easy. And then we have to go and do a quick time event battle against the Black Hand himself, which is a martyr or an avatar for Sauron, who was about to return in some way. We stopped him, just to spoil it. If you saw before, we just lost our captain that we recently dominated. But Mogg the Clever has shown up, and Mogg replaced one of the other Warchiefs that I killed by mistake. And so he's another berserker with poisoned axes, which is unfortunate because he's very dangerous, and he's got a couple of nasty bodyguards with him. And so you may be a bit confused by the fact that this seems like a rather daunting battle, but we've only got a few minutes left in the video. Well, that's because he wasn't all that difficult to deal with. And in fact, even though I do lose him later on, I end up taking care of one of those orc captains of his and recruiting him to my side. And it's funny too, because I really like that design on that captain in particular, because it almost always happens with just that design, where he has like the black helmet with the white like face stripe down it, you know, the white stripe down the middle, and he's got horns on it, and he's got this big ass fucking sword. It looks so cool. And when you make him a war chief, he's got like full body armor all over him. You know, he looks like an actual like lieutenant of Sauron's, like, you know, like a fierce warrior, and he looks super fucking cool. And yeah, it's just a shame that a guy like that dies. You know, whenever I play this game and I get an orc captain that looks like that, and I make him a war chief and one of my own, and he gets killed, it's always very sad. So this last minute, as soon as he arrived, I've just been trying to bait him into taking out, taking advantage of his fear of Caragors, I think it was. But instead I can't find it, so I just take care of flies. It's the fear of flies, I think it is. Yeah, he has a fear of Morgai flies. So even this early on, you'll still find war chiefs with the odd fear here and there. And I didn't need to drain him for elf shot, but I still did anyway, and he runs much faster than I do. So I need to use Shadow Strike, otherwise he's going to get away. But thankfully, what you can do is you can take advantage of them running away. You let them run away from the fortress, but you follow them closely. If they run away for too long and you don't start fighting them, they will disappear. Or if they get too far away from you, they also disappear. But what you need to do is wait for them to run to the edge of the fortress where there's no one around, and then Shadow Strike towards them and just start wailing away on them. And so I've decided to not only brand Mogg the Clever, making him my first war chief, and I think he survives till the end, but what ends up happening is I send him in a riot against another war chief, so I lure a war chief and his bodyguards out into the open without having to do a stupid objective set, and lure him out into the open of a fortress where I'm going to get surrounded by dozens of orcs and potentially attacked by one or two other captains. And with that mouthful out of the way, I finally take advantage of the scared captain that was his bodyguard trying to run away, and so I take advantage of him and decide to set him up. And I really should have made him like the bodyguard of my war chief and helped him through a power struggle that he was supposed to go through in order to be a bodyguard, but I don't, and I think he either just stays where he is and survives, or he ends up getting killed later on. But I'm not so sure about that.